this is just your quick reminder that we post every Tuesday at 5 on every podcast platform you could think of. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts. If you want to see the total video and all of our visuals, all of our reactions and stuff, go to YouTube at Nothing But Controversy. And if you have no time during the week to watch our episode, go to Instagram and check out our clip of the week, posted every week. But yeah.
And now some memes from Matthew Campbell too.
Okay. Anyways, what's up, guys? And welcome to episode 11 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. The last 2 weeks we've had guest speakers, but now we are back to the original 4. This week we have 2 brand new segments being introduced. You know, we're going into a new decade of segments, as Dawson was saying before. And we're also going to be giving our thoughts on the NBA All-Star starter squads that just got announced, and a bunch of segments you guys already know and love. And just to let you guys know, we are now officially 199 days away from the start of the 2021 NFL regular season. Who's excited?
I'm excited, baby.
All right, so we'll go on to our first segment, and it's obviously a brand new one since the All-Star starting rosters for the East and West got announced. The reserves haven't been announced yet. So I just want to hear your guys' thoughts on those starting squads. I really only have one opinion because I thought they got it pretty good, except Kyrie in the East, it was a little bit iffy for me as a starter. I was kind of surprised by that. But the main one has to be the fact that Damian Lillard got left off for Luka Doncic. It's a travesty, in my opinion.
Okay, it is. It's not a travesty. It's not like Luka
100%.
Doncic is.
You're gonna tell me that Luka Doncic deserves to be on that roster more than Damian Lillard?
Maybe not, but to put it as a travesty, like there's things that are travesties. DeForest Buckner getting left off the All-Star start is a travesty, but.
I'm telling you right now that Damian Lillard is in the MVP conversation. Luka Doncic is absolutely not. The only reason why the Trailblazers are even relevant right now is because of Damian Lillard. This guy, it's unfair and it's ridiculous.
The only reason the Mavericks are relevant right now is because of Luka.
What?
The only reason the Mavs are relevant right now is because of Luka.
But are they even relevant? Not really. Like.
What do you mean?
And Luka's also not been having a good year. He even said it himself. I know I shouldn't even be on the freaking starting list. It should be Dame. He literally said that.
I agree it should have been Luka, but to say, like Dawson said, that it's a travesty, absolutely not.
Absolutely a travesty.
Okay. I think you fucking took your dramatic pills this morning. Like, that's not a travesty. Like, I don't know. Again, that's the only one that there's an argument for. Don't get me wrong. Does Dame deserve to be the starter? Probably. Well, not probably. He does. But is it the hugest deal that he doesn't get to start the game? He'll be subbed in within 2 minutes. Like, you know what I mean? Like
me, it's a big deal.
Okay,
I'm
sure.
Man his respect.
I get that, but again, it's not like Luka's a scrub by any stretch of the imagination. Like, let's be real.
I'm not saying that at all.
But yeah, so that's my only thought on it. I don't think it's a huge deal. I think Dame needs his respect. I agree, but it's not the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah, I agree. I'm like somewhere in the middle. I don't think it's a travesty either. I do think Dame should have been there, but I like the rosters. I'm excited to see the reserves. I think there's a couple guys that like Julius Randle and there's a couple guys balling that should get their respect. So I'm excited. I'm waiting for that for sure.
I don't think Kyrie should have been a starter.
Wait, quick, before you go, I'm just looking at Luka's stats now. Luka's averaging 30 points a game, 9.5 assists, and 8.5 boards.
But his team sucked. They're not winning. Like,
well,
okay, but
it's a team effort. I think it's a player. You don't name a player an all-star because his team's good.
Yeah, I think if we're talking end of year awards, then it's one thing. But all-star game, like, anyways, carry on, Shane.
That's just another problem with like fan voting is that there's always everyone just blames it on them because they don't get it right. You know, like at this point, just get the experts to vote in the starters, and then the reserves. It's whatever you get to see who else you want to see. You know, like
yeah.
But
Remember John Scott in the NHL when he was like a captain of a fucking
He won the MVP that game, didn't he?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Kyrie should have made it just because of that like 2-week break or whatever. He just went off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
I don't know who should have been, but I mean, to me, I guess it makes sense that Harden wasn't because he started the year in the West.
Yeah.
I think Harden should have been over Kyrie.
Agreed. I'm glad that Beal made it.
Yeah.
Very
Fuck.
good.
Did you guys see? I know the TNT panel likes to be controversial, but I think it was either Shaq or Charles Barkley that was saying Jordan Clarkson is having a better year than
Anthony
Davis.
Yeah.
It was Shaq? I thought it was Charles.
Barkley.
Yeah, it was Charles.
It was Barkley. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I knew it was one of them. I don't remember which one, but
It's usually Charles with the whack takes, but
Did
We should-
you also see that Shaq didn't know? Yeah, Shaq didn't know Siakam's name was Pascal.
yeah.
I feel like
Fucking-
we should take a page out of their book if we want
Well, they were like-
controversy because those guys are like purposely like
yeah,
Shaq is like purposely ignorant, and he
Yeah.
it's entertaining, honest, like nothing
He
less
calls
than
out
that.
every center in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Anyway, I feel like other than that, like they got it right. They definitely got the two captains right. I mean, it's probably the two best players in the league right now. It's weird seeing like KD and LeBron going to be in the All-Star game again. It's going to be weird seeing them play together. I mean, I don't even know if these guys are actually going to go. I mean, LeBron's probably going to have to go, but he really doesn't want to. He's already made it clear,
yeah.
I think it's kind of stupid to be having one, but,
Shane, before we jump, how excited are you that there's a very strong possibility that Zach LaVine's going to be an All-Star?
Bro, he better. If he's not, I'm going to be so mad. He
I'm
better
going to
be.
throw that word out again. It would be a travesty if he did not
That
make
one would. That one would. Not Luka starting over Dame. That one would be a travesty.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to move on to our question of the week. And I came up with this one. I was just thinking about, like, how my process of becoming a Saints fan. And basically the question is, what's the reason you became a fan of your favorite NFL team? Like, everyone has a reason, like if you're a bandwagon fan, it's because they're so good that you started watching football or something, So for me, when I was growing up, I would barely watch the NFL. I would watch a bunch of college football, okay? Because I would never be, like, up on Sunday. I'd always be doing something on Sunday. I feel like Saturday, like if I had a game, because growing up we had morning games for football, and then we had the whole afternoon to do whatever we want, and then Sunday was kind of like a family day and stuff. So I grew up watching college football, and there was one guy in college football that made me fall in love with like running backs and like receiving running backs, and that's Reggie Bush. So watching him at USC was one of the greatest running backs I've ever seen. And when he got drafted by the Saints, that's when I was like, okay, like I'm going to become a Saints fan. And then they won the Super Bowl shortly after, which was nice, but I was still very young. But that's the reason why I'm a Saints fan.
Yeah. So I kind of followed the same suit where it's not like family lineage passing it down, like, oh, you're this because I'm a Patriots fan or whatever it is. So as you guys know, I'm a Colts fan. And mine's not really player related either. I was super young when I became a Colts fan. I think I was like 3 or 4, which is crazy. But my dad was just watching football on TV. My dad's a Seahawks fan, has been a Seahawks fan his whole life. But he was just watching a Colts game. And like a lot of kids, I just liked their jerseys. I liked the color blue. Like it just fit. And then, once I started to understand football a little bit more, you see Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, Robert Mathis, Dwight Freeney, like all these studs. And obviously they won the Super Bowl in 06.
Bob Sanders.
Bob Sanders, the GOAT, Defensive Player of the Year.
Marvin Harrison.
Did I say Marvin? I thought I said.
Oh, he's a beauty though.
Yeah, but yeah, like once I start, like they're the reason I started, watching football intensely and like learning the sport and all that. So I've never switched up on them, obviously. But yeah, so just really for me, it was really just the jersey colors, the jerseys, all that, and then like I said, they won the Super Bowl in 06. Got my first jersey in like kindergarten. I wore that like 3 times a week to kindergarten. My mom had to wash it every night. But yeah, I repped the 18 in kindergarten all the way to like grade 4 every single day.
Me for the Eagles, I'm not gonna like before the age of 10, I would say I wasn't really I was more just like a football fan. I would watch it when I could. I loved going to CFL games. But because we played for the Pats, I was like, I guess a mini Pats fan, I guess you could say. Like that was like, yeah, I know. And now looking back at it, that's my reaction too. But I remember one year the Eagles were in the NFC Championship. They played Arizona. That was the year they went to Arizona went to the Super Bowl. And I remember watching it with my dad, and my dad was like, "Your grandfather was a big Eagles fan," and he's like, "My dad was like a Chiefs and Eagles fan at that time, I guess." But I was like, I watched that game, and I was like, "All right, this is my team." My dad had this like vintage Eagles Reebok like gear, he had like a whole sweatsuit, and I was in love with their logo. And yeah, and then they had Brian Westbrook, Donovan McNabb. Like I just fell in love with the team. I was
That was
probably
a squad.
yeah, I was about 10 years old. Like just never looked back since then.
Mike Vick came along.
Yeah, like
Jeez.
All right, so as I've said on previous podcasts, I've always kind of followed what my dad liked and what my dad's opinion was when I was a young football fan coming in. Like the thing with Notre Dame, if I wanted to go to Notre Dame or whatever because he's a Notre Dame fan. But this one's because he hated someone so much that I had to go with him. I've never, growing up, I never saw someone hate someone the way my dad hated Tom Brady, because my dad's a Raiders fan. So anytime you bring up the tuck rule in my house, it gets very heated, very fast. So I think I brought it up one time in my life, and not once again have I ever talked about that game. So my dad hates Tom Brady more than anybody I'll ever know. And the year I started, like, not really watching football, but like realizing like this is the game I love, like I need a team, was the year the Patriots went to the Super Bowl and they were undefeated. And I just remember always my dad in the back of my head just ripping Tom Brady. So I was like, you know what? The first team I see beat Tom Brady is going to be – that's who I'm going to ride with. And that was the year that the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl. It took the whole season for me to find my team, but I found them in the last game. And now they suck, but I still ride by them. Matt was making fun of me earlier today because I have a bunch of Giant shit all over the house. I ride by them, and I'll never change. I'll never waver.
So basically that whole story just to say you're a bandwagon fan.
Yeah, essentially. As a 7-year-old, I was a bandwagon, yeah.
What year were the Patriots undefeated?
2007.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the Super Bowl was in 2008. So
I feel like you can't be a bandwagon fan for cheering a team that wins when you're like 8. Like
No.
like,
I was
yeah.
just messing with you. Like,
Yeah, no. Anyways.
So let's say hypothetically the Giants lost.
I would have waited till next year.
Wait, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm doing here. And Shane said, I can't be a Giants fan. They lost. Shane, luckily enough, would be a Kansas City Chiefs fan.
There you go. Then I would have been
Oh,
rolling.
sorry, that's wrong. They beat the Chiefs. Shane would be a Miami Dolphins fan.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, how much he hates Tua too.
Yeah.
If they just so happened to beat the Dolphins, he would have been a San Diego Chargers
man.
fan.
Yikes.
could be worse.
So Shane, quick question for you. Now that Brady is out of New England, is the hatred lightened up a bit, or it's still?
No, my dad can't stand him.
Okay.
My dad will never bet for Brady in any game. My dad will know that Brady's team's going to win by 30, and he'll bet for the other team.
Respect.
All right, let's move on. We're going to go on to another segment we do every week, and it's our bold prediction of the week. My bold prediction of a goalie scoring did not hit.
Really?
But anyways, I'm going to start this week, and it's a little bit more reasonable. It's definitely bold considering the year he's having, but my bold prediction is kind of goes back to one that Shane had a couple weeks back, but it's Carey Price is going to get his first shutout of the year this week. I see him playing either like 2 out of 3. We're playing the Sens and the Jets twice before our next podcast, so I don't know. I see him getting his first shutout of the year and bouncing back.
All right, gentlemen, do me a favor. What has been my my bold prediction of the week?
Carson Wentz to the Colts.
What has been my bold prediction, baby? It was Carson Wentz, and it happened. I am ecstatic. I know there's a lot of haters out there saying Carson Wentz is washed, Carson Wentz is this, Carson Wentz is that. And to that, I'll say go talk to my good friend Cam Wilson, because he has every argument in the book against that. I'm just super excited for him to be on the squad. Anyways, not the point of this segment. We could talk about that a little bit later. But no, my lock of the week, my bold prediction of the week is that the Habs are actually going to go winless this week. They're pissing me off so much, and I'm just hoping.
Fire Claude.
I spoke to my friend today, and he genuinely thinks 2 more losses and Claude could be gone.
I will be a very happy man.
So would you guys, just quickly, would you guys want Ducharme to step in, or do you want someone else? Or
I think he's qualified and he's had success at various levels, but I'm not sure if he's an upgrade over Claude. Like, maybe there's the argument that Claude's lost the locker room, which could be like, there's no reason for this team to not be doing better than they are with the roster that we have, you know. So
the only thing I'd say about that is that I think Ducharme is just, it's not necessarily the most qualified in terms of experience, but I just feel like he knows the team the best. So like at that point, like that gives him an advantage over everyone, right? Like
what I want the Habs to do is to stop hiring only French coaches and get the best available coach.
Never going to happen.
Fair enough.
Never going to happen. Anyways, I'll change my bold prediction to Claude Julien gets fired this week.
I think it would be Joel Bouchard. I think they'd call him up from Laval, and he'd be the coach.
Say that again, Dawson.
I said I'm just gonna change my bold prediction of the week to Claude Julien gets fired.
I'll be a happy man. It'll be a great day.
Yeah.
Going back to your bold prediction from last week, Dawson, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm extremely upset personally. Very bad situation. One of the biggest organizational failures. I didn't think it was going to come as early as it did, so I'd like to apologize to you formally for that. But I'm happy you got what you wanted at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
My bold prediction of the week is Kansas plays Texas tomorrow. I'm sticking with the March Madness train. Kansas is going to win. They're ranked 23 right now. Texas is 12. It's in Texas. I think Texas is 3.5-point favorites. Kansas has won 5 in a row. They look good after a big, tough loss against West Virginia. I think they're going to win tomorrow night. A little bit bold, but book it.
All right. I mean, I guess this is considered bold. See how he only has 1 goal all year. Jonathan Drouet, the Habs play 3 games this week, and in one of those 3 games, Jonathan Drouet will have a multi-goal game.
Ooh, I like it. Also, just to give a quick shout out to our boys over at Pressbox Chatter, Sam's bold prediction of the week of Austin Matthews scoring twice against the Habs actually hit.
And his lock of the week and Joe Thornton would score or hit.
I think it was the opposite, no? Wasn't Joe Thornton his bold prediction?
Oh, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Anyways, shout out to Sam for that. Crazy bold predictions.
Yeah, that was good. All right, so those were our bold predictions of the week. And now we're going to move on to a new segment at that. And it's called Think Fast.
Ooh,
so basically what it is I got my phone right here, and I'm gonna say a question, and you guys are gonna write down your answers as quick as you can. You guys have 8. There's your test from Dawson. You guys have 8 seconds to write down an answer and show it to the camera. So you gotta think fast.
I don't finish in 8 seconds.
Huh?
What happens if I don't finish in 8 seconds?
And you just as fast as you can.
Okay.
Disqualified. We're replacing you.
Yeah, you're disqualified. You're not allowed.
What if my answer is really long?
If your answer, there is one that's gonna be like kind of long, but I'll give you the time.
Got it.
Ready, kids.
Setting it up. You have 8 seconds. Okay. And the first question is, who is the best center in the NBA?
I wrote so fast, but
I don't know if this is how you spell it, but.
All right.
Oh, okay. You know what? I like that one too.
You know, I was thinking about it, and I said it had to be one of them too. So I had Jokic. The other 3 had Joel Embiid. Okay. I think dominating in the post and like positional wise, I think you guys definitely have the argument, 100%. He's playing out of his mind right now, but so is Jokic. And I think that to me, it's just the fact that Jokic does everything that just sets him apart from everyone else. Like, he's just such a special player, and that's why I have. But I'm not upset that you guys took Joel.
Yeah, I think, Matt, I really don't have much to say. I'll let the other 2 talk on it more. But we said it last week. Obviously, Jokic could be right there too, but Embiid is definitely in the MVP conversation this year. So I think it's a toss-up between the 2, really. But for me, I just like my nice tall centers in the post, all that. So I have Embiid. I don't know if Shane and Cam have much to add to that, but
yeah, I don't have a lot to add either. I do agree with you. He's obviously in the MVP conversation, and he's just so aggressive and dominant, and that is a guy you would love to have on your team. He's exciting to watch, even though he is a center, and that's kind of this like new wave of centers in the NBA. But yeah, I think I just love Joel Embiid, but Jokic is right up there too, no doubt.
Nothing really to add. You guys touched on it. I just like dominating centers, big guys in the post, like Dawson said.
Yeah, and I saw, I think it's ESPN's MVP like power rankings right now. They have LeBron at 1, Embiid at 2, Jokic at 3, Dame at 4, Steph at 5, KD at 6, I think. I could be wrong, though. But anyways, we'll move on to our next one. And kind of just like a jokes one, but what is your favorite Gatorade flavor?
You have to write the flavor? Can I just write the color?
You write the color.
Boom.
Sorry.
If you write purple, Cam, I swear to God. Oh, thank God.
Let's go.
Okay, so
listen, after Gatorade got rid of the purple one, the grape flavor, like the actual grape flavor, that's what like G2, the purple G2 is good. But it's not my favorite. So
okay.
that's why I have to go with the lemon lime. But G2, I mean the Gatorade Rain purple flavor, grape flavor was outstanding, and I'm really upset that I can't find it anywhere.
Just for everyone listening, it was Shane and I took Glacier Cherry, which is the white one, and Cam and Dawson took Lemon Lime, which is the yellow one.
Okay, so I'm going to go first. I'm going first. Let me set the scene. Okay? You just finished a nice football practice, let's say. It was 45 degrees. It's a Saturday practice. You know the ones where they kind of take it lightly, but, you just, like, ran conditioning or something. It's hot as shit. Okay? The turf is hot. You get to the car. Your dad stopped at the depanneur, got you a nice Gatorade. Okay? I would rather take a sip of a yellow lemon lime Gatorade than a Glacier Cherry, simply because Glacier Cherry, I feel like even though it's called Glacier, it never gets cold. Like, it never gets cold. It's always like, I don't know if this is just my experience. I've only ever had room temperature Glacier Cherry, even if it's been in the fridge for like 2 hours. And it gives me a headache because it's too sweet.
Let me just
tell you personally, also, just a little thing, it dries out my mouth a little bit.
Yeah,
that could be a
it dries out my mouth.
That could very much be a personal problem. I don't hate the flavor at all, but it's not my favorite just because
it dries out my mouth.
Exactly.
It gives me a headache, and it doesn't hydrate me.
Dawson, I honestly believe that Glacier Cherry is not your number one because you haven't tried it at cold temperature.
No, maybe, but again, I don't know. That's just
listen. I'm totally with you when it comes to like Gatorade. They have the case and it comes in the 4-pack. You get the red, the yellow, the orange, and the blue. 100% yellow is the best one. I will fight people till the day I die for that one. But Glacier Cherry, my entire life has just been the white Gatorade. My mom knew it. Whenever she would go to Maxi or something, she'd get a case, but she'd also get like the little 6-pack of Glacier Cherry that they sold on the side for me, and I love those. Shane, do you have anything to say?
I don't have anything to say. It's just the Gatorade color.
I'm just happy no one answered right or wrong.
But blue is so underrated. Blue is fantastic.
I like
right there.
I like them all except for purple. Purple's dust, but sorry, Cam.
Every time we say purple, I think Dawson's about to throw up all over his computer.
Well, G2 is just like not good as a whole. Like no G2 flavor is good in my opinion. Like it's a little too like fake, but
agreed.
Yeah, I love purple flavored everything. So sorry.
You know what's crazy though? Blue Gatorade is my second favorite Gatorade, but I would take blue Powerade over blue Gatorade.
Oh no, I don't like blue Powerade at all. Ugh.
I'm not a big Powerade fan.
Grape Powerade is pretty good though, I have to say.
Yeah, enough with the grape.
Bro, grape is good.
It is.
The only good grape thing is Big League Chew.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. All right. I'll take that.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay, so we're going to our third one, and we're going back to football here, and it's now that Carson Wentz has been traded, where does the Colts season finish in the 2021-2022 season?
Oh, wait. Like record, or where does their...
Where does their season finish?
Ah, shit.
Here, I'll restart it. Okay, so everyone had them in the AFC Championship except for me. I have them losing in the divisional round. And listen, I am totally willing to change my answer if I see something out of Carson Wentz. Okay? I definitely think that the Colts are a much better team now that Carson Wentz is there. If Carson Wentz can go back to his MVP form, they're 100% making it to the AFC Championship. But right now, the way that Carson Wentz played last year and stuff, I know people are going to have all the arguments. He was getting hit a bunch and stuff. But right now, my personal feeling is that they're not as good as the Bills or the Chiefs. And that's why I have them losing divisional round. I'm sorry, Dawson. But
That's
if
fine.
Carson Wentz goes off, I have them beating the Bills, but not the Chiefs.
They almost
fine.
beat the Bills this year.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, me too. I think they could beat the Bills. The Chiefs, we'll see like what happens in the offseason with them, but yeah.
Look, I just want to say that this year, the Colts did not have a first-round pick, okay? Their first-round pick technically was DeForest Buckner.
I was going to say, I'll take DeForest over like
Absolutely.
a lot of players.
Anyways, so from that, the Colts had just ranked the number 1 draft class in 2020 with no first-round pick, okay? Another year of that draft class with a first-round pick, with the 21st overall pick, with a bunch of money in free agency and with Carson Wentz, I think they're automatically going to be a better team than last year, even if Phillip Rivers was still there. Phillip Rivers in that game couldn't throw a ball 40 yards, which is nuts to me. And like whenever they have like end of half and they're on the 45 and they want to press the end zone, they had to bring in Jacoby Brissett because he couldn't throw the ball 40 yards. Anyways, I think even if Phillip Rivers was still there, with everything that's going to go on this offseason, I think they're going to be a better team than last year and could absolutely make a push to the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I agree. Look, Carson, there's no denying Carson Wentz had a bad year last year. I'm not gonna say it's because the O-line was bad, and obviously that's a factor. But I think Carson has come off a few big injuries over the last 3 years, and I don't think he had like a real. I think Doug Peterson and management tried to push him out by drafting Jalen Hurts or tried to give him like the sense of someone's on your back and you're gonna have to perform with a team that's subpar, even after the year that they had 2 years ago, where he balled out. But again, the team was not good. They didn't get better last offseason. And obviously Marquise Goodwin like opting out, that didn't help. But I think getting that connection back with Frank Reich and everything, I think he's going to do a lot better than he did. Obviously, that's not saying much, but I think he'll go back to the way he was before. I believe in him a lot. Obviously, I'm a huge fan, so take it with a grain of salt. But I do see the Colts making a big push next year. Maybe they'll even beat the Chiefs and make the Super Bowl. I don't know, but I'm ready to at least say AFC Championship game confidently if they can keep it rolling like last year.
As a Giants fan, I am so happy that Carson Wentz is out of the division. I'm not afraid to admit right now that I think Carson Wentz will be in the MVP conversation next year. And Matt, you're a big fan of saying defense wins championship, and the Bills defense doesn't even belong in the same sentence as the Colts defense does.
That's fine. Fair enough. I didn't have the Bills to win the championship, but
you said that you didn't think that they were going to beat the Bills.
I don't think they're going to beat the Bills. No, but I don't think either of them are going to win the championship.
But we never said they were going to win the championship. We just said they were going to go there.
Right.
At the beginning, you said they weren't going to beat the Bills.
I don't think they're going to beat the Bills right now. No.
Okay, so I'm saying defense.
Hey, fuck you, man.
Their defense is better than the Bills, and I think now they're better with Carson Wentz than they were with Rivers, and they lost by what? What was it, like 6 points or something in that game? And they almost came back to win that game.
Yeah, but also when I say that defense wins championships, it's not like the offense can be shit. Like
you're saying the offense is shit?
No. I'm just saying like the Bills' offense was phenomenal this year. Like if like Josh Allen was head over heels above like everyone else in the league except for like 3 quarterbacks, and Stephon Diggs playing the way he did, like it's kind of hard to forget that. You're assuming that the Bills are probably going to draft a running back too. They're going to get someone there. Like
they still have to fix the defense.
I'm a little bit concerned with the Bills, honestly. I think they're getting worse than they are getting better right now, and there's obviously a lot of time left. But losing Matt Milano, potentially losing Cole Beasley, like those were 2 very big pieces last year. They're going to be tough guys to replace. So listen, I'm not saying their offense isn't still like pretty much intact, but it's gonna be an interesting offseason,
Yep.
that's for sure.
All right. So let's move on. We have 5 of these, so this is our 4th. And the question is, as of today, who is, in basketball terms, the European GOAT?
This one's not even close.
I hope you guys all have the same as me.
I was too slow to write, but yeah.
All right. Good. Because I saw.
Sorry, boys.
There you
Looks
go.
like
Okay, so all 4 of
looks
us
like I
have
wrote dick.
which is thankful.
The correct
thankful.
answer.
Yeah, it is. It's the correct answer. There's not a lot of debate to it. I saw a big debate happening on I think it was Sports Center. They posted a picture of like who's the best European players. You know, they're like Rudy Gobert was in there, Luka Doncic was in there,
Rudy Gobert doesn't belong in that.
Manu Ginobili.
Manu Ginobili. I do think that Luka Doncic is well on his way to being in that conversation. But right now, I think that Dirk is just so legendary, and he single-handedly took down like one of the first super teams. Like,
Which is nuts.
Yeah.
Like,
that was one of the craziest underdog stories like ever. Like, I still can't believe it. It pains me because, you know, he took my man LeBron down, but I gotta respect him for that one.
I think Dirk and Tim Duncan are two of the most underrated. Like, Tim Duncan is still recognized as a top 10 player of all time. Dirk, too, maybe in some cases, probably not. But they are two of the most underrated guys in this generation, man. It's insane.
Would you take Tim
but yeah.
Duncan or Dirk?
What's that?
Would you take Tim Duncan or Dirk?
I would take Tim Duncan.
Me too.
Yeah. But no, in terms of the Euro, like you said, I think Luka's definitely on his way. Nowhere close yet, I don't think, just because of how long Dirk played, how much success he had in Dallas with really not much around him, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Dirk for now. Wouldn't be surprised if Luka's probably number 3 on my list now. I would probably have Ginobili ahead of him just for now, just again because of how long he's played, but no.
Yeah, I don't have much to add on there. I agree with you, boys. Not really a question right now. Not yet, anyways.
Rudy Gobert doesn't belong in the category.
Rudy Gobert is the European COVID GOAT.
All right.
Rudy Gobert or Serge Ibaka?
Serge, bro. What are you talking about?
You already know Cam's rocking with Serge.
Yeah, Serge over MJ, bro. I don't even care.
So we'll go on to our 5th and final Think Fast category. And it's what is your early prediction for NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 2021? I already know what Shane's answer is going to be, but like...
You don't.
We'll get a little like, who just in case I'm missing anyone. There's Saquon, OBJ.
There's Saquon, OBJ, CMC.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, this comeback player of the year have to be someone who was injured? It can be someone who was shit?
Like Tannehill had a bad year and then he won it the next year.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess quickly.
I wrote one for offense and defense. But it's just because there's a lot of like rumors that Von Miller is going to not play. He really wants out of Denver. So I have him winning it, but if not, I have CMC winning it. I think if CMC can stay healthy, he's a top 3 running back in this league. He's probably the best 2-way in this league. I have Von Miller and CMC. Cam did you have Carson Wentz?
Yeah, I had Saquon.
Okay. Oh, you had Saquon. Dawson had Carson Wentz, and Shane had Dak Prescott. So that's my answer. You go, Dawson.
So yeah, just very quickly, obviously huge bias here, but Carson Wentz is going to thrive in Indianapolis. Good young receiving core. Zach Pascal's coming back most likely. Michael Pittman already told Wentz he's not giving him number 11, which is cool. T.Y. hopefully he comes back and then make a move for a receiver in the 1st or 2nd round of this draft. And I'm happy, and who knows, maybe get a little Zach Ertz action. So I think he's going to thrive in the Colts offense, especially with Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor both playing full swing too. So yeah, I think they're going to go like 12-4. So he'll definitely be in the conversation there after the brutal season he had. So Carson Wentz is my pick.
I like that pick. I think the thing with obviously I like that, but the thing with CMC is like I don't know because he came back and then I guess they could still give it to him. Like it's kind of a toss up for me. Like I feel like maybe we say this every year, but it could be like any of the guys that we put.
Mhm.
I like Dak's chances too. For me though, Saquon is just
I would
just
love
a game changer. Like I'm scared of him every time he touches the ball. It could be 6. So he's got my vote right now.
All right, the reason I said Dak is because people forget what he was doing in the first 4 games of the year before he got hurt against the Giants. He had like 1,600 passing yards in those 5 games that he played. That receiving core is probably the best in the league right now. I think all 3 of them are number 1 receivers. Gallup's like a lower end number 1 receiver, but to me, he's still a number 1 receiver.
He's the number 1 receiver on the Giants.
That's not hard. I could be a number 1 receiver on the Giants. I don't know. I already talked about my boy Amari Cooper as a top 5 receiver in the NFL. Next year, he's showing it. Don't worry. If you listen to this.
What a weird hill! What a weird hill to die on that was, man. I'm telling you.
I'll be
I
back.
can't believe you brought that up again. We could have let that die, but
No,
you brought it up again.
I'll be back next year sitting here telling you guys how great Amari Cooper played. But, yeah, I just think that offense is too good. Dak's going to come back healthy, hopefully. I think he could even win MVP next year probably. So here we are.
You could even make the argument that Zeke could win it because Zeke had a bad year.
Zeke sucks. Can't stand Zeke.
I don't know about that.
You already know how much I hate Zeke.
Also, for the viewers, Matt pulled off the most fucking slimy, grimy fucking fantasy football trade to get Ezekiel Elliott. It was disgusting. Anyways.
And it didn't work out.
Not work out at all.
Did not work out at all.
It's fine. All right, so that was our new segment. Think fast. I kind of liked it. I'm gonna be honest.
I loved it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep that one in the playbook.
It's like this or that, but faster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go to our second news segment of the week, and it's kind of a segment like you see on all these sports pages. Like you'll get like a three-way comparison with like a start, bench, cut. So I'm basically all it is. I'm gonna name 3 things. You're gonna say which one's the best, which one's like the second best, which one's the worst, and you'd start the best, you'd bench the second best, and then you'd cut the worst, of course.
Are we writing these down, or are we?
No. We'll just say it. So for the first one, I put Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. I don't. I know what Shane's gonna say, but like, I kind of want to know what you guys are gonna say. I have obviously. I mean, you guys probably already know what I'm gonna say. I'm starting LeBron. I'm benching Michael Jordan. I'm cutting Kobe. You guys know it already. I think that LeBron James is the best basketball player to ever grace this earth, maybe the best athlete to ever grace this earth. I'm benching MJ because to me he's the second best player of all time, and I'm cutting Kobe because I think he's the third, fourth. It's simple as that. Anyone who wants to get into an argument about LeBron James or MJ, I'm all open for it. I'll speak about LeBron. I'll defend LeBron till the day I die. But yeah, those are my 3.
I have the same 3. All I'm gonna add is R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah, same. To me, I want to know what's going through the head of the people, like the older generation who watched Michael Jordan. Like I feel like LeBron's my start guy because I've watched him play ever since I started watching basketball. Of course, you can watch Michael Jordan highlights all day long, but I think the argument, like the debate, is just like overplayed now, and it's tiring, and people are just beating a dead horse. But I really want to know, like, because they've had the older generation has had the chance to see Jordan and LeBron, and some of them are split, and some of them are like completely sold on Jordan, and some of them are completely sold on LeBron. So I would just love to hear like a bunch of old heads argue about it.
Mine's the same, but all I have to say is next time we put Kobe in something, can we make it like fair? Because Kobe's my guy. Kobe was the guy that made me want to play basketball, that got me into basketball. And putting him in this conversation with these 2 guys, I don't find it's fair.
You see, it is, but like also some people really think that Kobe is like a much better player than LeBron. Like, and to me, like that's ridiculous. But like it actually, like some people have that conversation. I'm just gonna add one more thing about LeBron. and it's simply hypothetical. And it's, to me, if he wins the MVP this year and wins the championship and wins Finals MVP, it'll single-handedly be the most unbelievable accomplishment any basketball player's ever done ever. Guy had 71 days after his last NBA Finals game before his first regular season game, and he's playing at this high level at 36 years old. Like, we think about guys that are 36 years old. Like this is why I love Cristiano Ronaldo and LeBron James, because both these guys are 36. Ronaldo, happy birthday, turned 36 last week. But like, these guys are still like head and heels above everyone. Like, and it's ridiculous because you see like other players who were so good, and then at 36 they were a nuisance. Like, it was completely done. And it seems like LeBron's getting better. It makes no sense. Like his IQ is ridiculous. His athleticism is unbelievable, and that's why I love LeBron so much. And Cristiano Ronaldo, the longevity is ridiculous. But anyways, we'll move on to the second one, and it's a hockey one, and it's Crosby, Ovechkin, or Patrick Kane. This one was really hard for me. Honestly, I didn't know who to be. Like, I think it has to be like Crosby and Ovechkin, and then Patrick Kane getting cut. But like, I just didn't know who else to put in that conversation to have this debate, to be honest. I probably could have just made it a this or that or something. But to me, I just think that like Crosby has more accolades, I guess. So I'm going to start Crosby. I'm going to bench Ovechkin. I'm going to cut Patty Kane. I guess all around, I think that Crosby is a better player, but Alex Ovechkin's the best goal scorer I've ever seen. Like, I don't think I think without a doubt he is, but it's really close. I'll put that like.
Yeah. So just for me, I was so close to putting Ovechkin, Crosby, Patty Kane. Patty Kane's getting cut for me. Like when you think of the NHL, it's like Crosby and Ovechkin. Like, for me, that, and now you know you have McDavid in there, but when we were kids, it's Crosby and Ovechkin. I was gonna put Ovechkin in there just because I love goals, but what's a better goal than the golden goal for me? So I just had to put Crosby in as my starter. Shane has been making a face for 2 minutes, so I really want to hear what he has to say. Just
before he talks, I just want to say, I don't think there's one like goal moment in any sport that, especially as a Canadian, where you didn't know where, like, you knew where you were when
okay, let's do that. Where were you guys when that goal happened?
I was 10 years old. I was 9 years old. It was 2010, right? I was 9 years old. I was about to turn 10. I was on vacation in Mexico, and I was watching a live stream with 3 Americans that were like 25. And when he scored, I was running around the lobby screaming my head off, like, as a little kid, you know, like watching. Oh, it was amazing. Like, I was in a movie theater. I went to like a movie theater to watch the game specifically, like they had it on the screen and whatever. So I was in the theater there, packed, like no empty seats in the house. When he scored, literally like out of a movie, like popcorn in the air like this, everyone went fucking crazy. Like, it was so sick. And that made the moment like 10 times cooler for me. And even cooler, Crosby, I don't think a lot of people remember this, Crosby didn't have the best tournament. He did not have the best tournament at all. And I called at the beginning of overtime, I'm like, Crosby scoring the game winner just because he had a bad tournament. And I called it, and, you know, the rest is history. Like, it was the same thing in 2014, too. Like, he didn't have a goal until the gold medal game, I'm pretty sure. When he went on that, when he took it on the boards and went all the way, like coast, almost coast, not coast to coast, but like from the midline to the. Yeah.
I think we can agree that it's that, and it's Jordan Eberle. If Jordan Eberle was in the championship, I don't know, it would be close, but
dude, I was crying before Jordan Eberle scored. Like, when there was like right before Tavares kept the puck in, I thought Russia was dumping it. So yeah. I look at my dad, I'm like, this game's over. Like, I was starting to walk away, and my dad's like, don't walk away till the siren sounds. And then Eberle scored with 5 seconds after that. For the golden goal, I was at my grandparents' house.
I was just in my basement. It's not a good story, but I remember it. But yeah. Where were you for the golden goal though?
I was at my grandparents' house. I was just watching it with the fam, and my grandparents didn't really know anything about hockey, so I was kind of like, I was the only one really zoned in. Me and my brother, and then Crosby scored. I was just like pure joy. I don't know. It just, as a kid, you feel so like drawn to this team, and yeah, that was sick.
Oh yeah, I was at my grandparents' house.
Okay. All
That was
right.
the first time in my life as a 10-year-old kid I felt like I was gonna have a heart attack.
All right. So we'll move on to our third start bench.
Wait, Shane needs to talk about Patrick Kane here.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I already talked about him last week. Crosby starting, whatever. Forget Crosby. We don't need to talk about him. We need to talk about my boy Patty Kane. Okay? I talked about him last week. He's the reason I got into hockey. I understand Ovechkin's the greatest, whatever, goal scorer of all time. I couldn't care about that. But the rings speak for itself. Patty Kane, before he turned the age of 26, had 3 rings. Ovechkin has 1.
That's crazy.
And he's, 34 now? He has 1. Also, Patty Kane, when he scored that goal against Philadelphia, I was running around the house, and I don't even like the Blackhawks. When Patty Kane scored, I still don't know how that goal went in, by the way. But when Patty Kane skated around the ice and just threw the gloves, I almost threw my freaking cup. I just remember sitting there watching it. I'm holding a cup. I just started screaming. My dad's sleeping. He started screaming at me. I went to bed real quick after. Patty Kane deserves to be on this list. And then none of you have him. I'm very hurt about it.
Just another thing to add to that. So I have the same as Matt Dawson with started Crosby, bench Ovechkin, and cut Kane. But Chicago's currently 3rd in the division without Taves and without Kirby Dach, 3 points back of the lead in their division. So I think a lot of credit goes to Patrick Kane. He's still not entering the conversation for me, but
Respect on my boy's name.
Worst part is I love Patty Kane, but there's
me too.
no way I'm cutting Ovechkin. No way.
I agree.
It was a difficult decision, but it had to be made.
Okay.
Next.
Yeah, we're gonna move on. So this was gonna be, I think,
One of us needs to make the show entertaining, okay?
Yeah, it's me.
This is the top 3 running backs from this year for sure. So we got Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, and Alvin Kamara. You guys know me. I'm a huge Alvin Kamara guy. He's currently my favorite player. He's my fantasy keeper. He won me some games this year in fantasy, but I'm going to bench him. And I'm going to start Derrick Henry because I think that Derrick Henry has a chance to be the greatest running back that will ever play this game. Has a chance. Didn't say he is. But I've never seen a running back that big run that fast and just be that dominant. He had 2,000 yards, ridiculous stat. And it's not even like a diss to Dalvin Cook because I really think that Dalvin Cook is good. But Alvin Kamara this year was unstoppable. He led the league in touchdowns. So that's why I have him bench and I cut Dalvin Cook.
All right, Matt, you're going to like my answer. So I'm starting Alvin Kamara. I am benching.
I don't like your answer. I freaking love your answer. Okay.
I am starting Alvin Kamara. I'm benching Derrick Henry, and I am cutting Dalvin Cook. Like you said, it's nothing against Dalvin Cook. I would probably, convert him to wideout to keep him on the squad or something because he's that good. But no, I think the 2 guys on this list are just that much far ahead of everyone else in the league. And again, it's nothing against Cook.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. Except I'm also starting Derrick Henry. I think it's really a toss-up between all of them, but I'm just taking Derrick over all of them. So yeah, that's just, I don't really have a lot to say here. I love Dalvin Cook, I love Kamara, I love Henry. There's tiers to it. That's all.
There's levels to this shit.
Once again, the kid is lone wolfing. I'm starting Henry, obviously. But to me, when I'm looking at running back, I prefer a guy who, Kamara's a better player, but Dalvin Cook's a better runner. He's a harder runner, and he Kamara, when he gets the ball in his hand, he could score on any given play. But Dalvin Cook, I find he's more of a real running back than Alvin Kamara is.
Okay, but this isn't really comparing running backs.
But I'm saying, you're saying who would I want? I would want a real running back.
Okay.
Does that not make sense to you?
It's because you said Kamara is a better player. That's why it confused me.
Yeah, but if I'm judging it based off being a running back, I would rather have Cook as my running back.
Okay, I guess I would judge.
Who's a better quarterback, Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers? A quarterback.
Quarterback?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes.
Really?
Right now.
You think?
Right now, Patrick Mahomes, yeah.
You think like mechanics and all that? Patrick
100% is Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers has a lot cleaner mechanics. There's no doubt about that. But I think Mahomes is definitely a better quarterback. Aaron Rodgers manipulates his arm better than Patrick Mahomes. Whether or not you see that every day on SportsCenter the same way you do as Mahomes, that doesn't make a difference to me. Like actually studying his tape and watching the way he manipulates his arm, Aaron Rodgers did it before anyone, and he's done it the best since he's been in the league.
Well, my argument is irrelevant then. Next question.
All right. So we'll go to our fourth one, and it's 3 rookie receivers from this year. We got Jerry Jeudy, CeeDee Lamb, and Chase Claypool. I'm starting Jeudy, benching Lamb, and cutting Claypool. I know you guys are going to be mad at me. Call me biased. I'm an Alabama guy, and I watched Jerry Jeudy play in like his 3 years. I've never seen a better route runner in college. And
it's all good that he can get open, but he can't catch the ball when he's open.
That's the only thing this year was whack, was he had a couple drops, but
he was second in the NFL in drops this year.
Yeah.
I had 5 in one game.
To me, Jerry Jeudy is in the top 10 of route running receivers. There are some routes that are just absolutely ridiculous. CeeDee Lamb, I think
if you want to
all around is like the best receiver from the class. And this year, Justin Jefferson played better, but I think that I would take CeeDee Lamb over Justin Jefferson. I think CeeDee Lamb's the only player I would take over Justin Jefferson, the only like rookie receiver.
Then how is he not starting?
I know. I need to start my boy Jeudy. You know, it's kind of like Shane benching Kane and cutting. It might be ridiculous, but and this isn't taking anything away from Chase Claypool, because I mean he's making us Canadians look good, but he's going to be cut for me.
Yeah, I have CD starting, as he should be, because you said it pretty much. I have Chase Claypool on my bench, just because he's a big body dude. I really like big bodied receivers. I don't know why. And he's just a fucking beast. Like any guy that comes out of college and they say, oh, we might switch him to tight end, I'm like, that guy's going to be fucking awesome. Mapletron, baby. But yeah, so that combined with he makes tough catches a large majority of the time he comes down with the ball. I just have him over Jerry Jeudy for now. Jerry Jeudy was, without a doubt, my favorite receiver in the class. I liked him a lot more than CD, but he had Drew Lock and whoever else at quarterback for a year, but the drops kind of killed it for me this year. So for now, temporarily, I have Jeudy on the cut, but I'd be glad to pick him up in free agency if he learns to catch the ball again.
Yeah, no. To me, like statistically, Claypool. I think this was close because statistically, Claypool was better than all of them. He had 11 combined touchdowns, which is just ridiculous. But I'm gonna start CD. I think it is just a really natural receiver. Like it looks effortless when he catches the ball. So, needless to say, I'm gonna bench Claypool. I'm not sure if he's gonna maintain the success that he had last year, especially God knows where they're going at quarterback. I'm going to cut Jeudy. Like, he had 12 drops last year. He can't be doing that. I don't think he's not going to progress. He will, for sure. And I don't think drops is it was never an issue for him in college. He was sure-handed in college, and that's why everyone was so high on him. So I do think he'll get that fixed. But for now, yeah, I agree with Dawson. I got to cut Jeudy.
What's crazy, though, just quickly, is Chase Claypool could very well be the number one receiver in Pittsburgh next year if Juju leaves.
I'm going to say something about that.
I don't know if he is a number one receiver.
That's the thing, okay? So I feel like CeeDee Lamb and Chase Claypool are benefiting off of like what I like to call Justin Jefferson syndrome, okay? Being the second target on your team and getting covered by the second best DBs is going to help your case, right? Jerry Jeudy was getting covered. You could argue, I don't know who was the other top guy in Denver.
All of a sudden he got hurt,
right? But well, not this year, right?
KJ Hamler.
Well, there was KJ Hamler. Yeah.
But KJ Hamler was not getting covered by the best DB on the opposing team. Jerry Jeudy was. CeeDee Lamb, you could argue, is their second best receiver. I would put him over Gallup right now, but that's a conversation to be had. But he's 100% the second guy, and Claypool was the third guy on the Steelers. It looked like Juju is not going to be on the Steelers again, so I want to see them play in a number one role against the number one DBs.
You want to know what sets them apart, though? Is when the ball got thrown to them, they caught it.
Fair enough.
All right, Shane, quickly.
I literally took everything I was going to say about the physical receiver. So I had CD starting also, Chase at bench, Judy cut. You said I like big physical receivers also. That's why I put Chase ahead of Judy.
Okay, we'll go to our last one, and it's not really like a sports debate. It's more of a drink debate, but it's Gatorade, Powerade, and water. And this might be controversial, but I'm starting water. There's no drink on this planet I would rather have than water. It's my favorite drink on the planet. I was not a big Gatorade drinker during football, like during practices and stuff. I would drink it after, like that would be like my after drink. But during practice, during games, it would have to be water. So I'm starting water. I'm benching Gatorade. And I'm cutting Powerade. The only thing I gotta say, Powerade has better caps, like the black cap on Powerade. Those are phenomenal. But taste-wise, Gatorade's number one. They have the better flavors, in my opinion.
So anyone who says water isn't a great drink has the palate of a child.
Yeah.
So water is number one without a doubt. Gatorade number two. Powerade number three.
Yeah, I agree. I've never been I never drank soda, occasionally, but never really liked it. I drink two things. It's water and this special water I call Bud Light. But yeah, no, I love water, so it's my number one. Powerade sucks. I'll never buy that. If I had to buy water, or Powerade or nothing, I'd probably choose nothing. I hate Powerade, except the grape one. That one's really good. The grape one's amazing.
Wow, that's our meme this week. It's just Cam hating Powerade.
I would rather suffer from a dying thirst than drink Powerade.
But you just said the purple one's delicious.
Yeah, the purple one's good, but not a lot of places have purple Powerade, bro.
Okay.
Scarcity. I'm gonna have to go to Japan or something. Wherever the hell you get exotic flavors and stuff.
I don't think grape is an exotic flavor.
Well, in Quebec it is apparently. You can't find it anywhere. Like that Gatorade rain grape flavor. You can't find that anywhere. Bet you they have it somewhere though. Somewhere exotic has it for sure.
Okay, Shane.
All right, I have the same list. I just don't feel that strongly about Powerade.
I cannot stand it, man.
Powerade's good, bro.
Purple one's good though.
I don't like Powerade, but I don't have a strong hatred for it like you do.
I do. I'd rather anything. Ugh.
All right. We'll move on. We're moving through this episode, but we got 2 segments left. And we're going to go to our next segment, which is Dawson's favorite, Top 5. And this week we're doing Top 5 NFL players that are not quarterbacks. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to give an honorable mention to Tyreek Hill and Quentin Nelson. Okay? To me, Tyreek Hill might be the most expendable player, the most versatile player in the NFL. But these guys ahead of them are just playing better players, in my opinion. I think they're more valuable. Number 5, I have TJ Watt. I think he got robbed. Okay, I'm just going to say that. To me, he's entering the conversation of being one of the best defensive players in the NFL. He's dominating everyone he sees in front of him. Number 4, Travis Kelce is slowly but surely entering himself into the GOAT tight end debate. Had his best season this year at what? He's 31. Okay, 31. Actually, it's not bad. But played very well. He was in the conversation for Offensive Player of the Year, too. Number 3, I have the Offensive Player of the Year, Derrick Henry. Had his best season yet. And, I kind of already said it before. I've never really seen a running back that big and that dominant, and I just love seeing that. Number 2 and number 1 are 2 guys from the same team. Number 2, I have Jalen Ramsey. Without a doubt, the best defensive back in the league. I've never seen a guy this good at shutting down, except for maybe Darrelle Revis when he was in his prime. And number one, I think I'd be surprised if you guys didn't have him at number one. It's Aaron Donald. Best defensive player I've ever seen, most dominant defensive player I've ever seen. And I think when it's all said and done, he could end up being the GOAT on defense.
Yeah, skipping over the fact that you cheated and you put two players tied for number one because they're on the same team.
I didn't tie them for number one. I just said the next two are on the same team. Number two is Jalen Ramsey.
Who was 3?
Derrick Henry.
4?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm wrong.
Okay.
So number 5, I have Jalen Ramsey, best corner in the game without a doubt. Number 4, Devontae Adams, most electrifying receiver in the NFL other than Tyreek. But I just think he's like such a good receiver that he belongs on this list. Number 3, my boy Quentin Nelson, absolute game changer. I forget what show I was watching, but they just said that if Carson Wentz like breaks out and succeeds, a huge portion of that is going to be not the Indianapolis Colts O-line, but just Quentin Nelson, just because of how dominant he is and how much he carries that O-line.
Wait, before you move
Nelson.
on, do you think they're going to switch him over to left tackle?
I don't think so.
Because I'm hearing
It
a lot of
depends.
reports that they might do that.
No, I've heard it too, but I don't think so. And you know, if he switched to left tackle, he'd probably be a top 3 left tackle in the league too, which is crazy. But number 2, Derrick Henry. I know it's controversial because I put Alvin Kamara over him, but just he's so dominant. And number 1, Aaron Donald, best defensive player I've ever seen, like Matt said, and it's not even close.
I thought about Quentin Nelson too, but can't disrespect what Travis Kelce did this year. So at number 5, I have Lamar Jackson. No, I'm just kidding. I have Kelce. At 4, I have D-Hop. I could have gone Devontae too. I just like D-Hop a little better. Don't think there's room for 2 receivers on this list. So at 3, I also have Jalen Ramsey. I mean, you guys said all there is to say about him. He's just ridiculous. And then at 2, I have Derrick Henry. And at 1, also Aaron Donald. I'm hoping this is unanimous, but he's a freak.
Oh, Shane just gave a little.
It's not unanimous.
At 5, I'm fully prepared for Matt to yell at me again. At 5, I have Devin White. I think what he did in the Super Bowl just proved to me that he's the best linebacker in the NFL. I think he's going to be a multi-time defensive player of the year himself. I think this year he even had a case this year to me. Obviously TJ Watt to me also got robbed. But yeah, I got Devin White at 5. At 4, I got Travis Kelce. You guys already touched on every point I want to touch on for Travis Kelce. Wow, Kelce. 3, I got Derrick Henry because I've never seen a running back that dominant in my entire life. The only thing that's stopping me from putting Henry higher on this list is that he's not a good pass catcher. That's the only thing stopping me from making him the most complete running back I've ever seen in my life. At 2, I have Jalen Ramsey because I think being a lockdown corner is the hardest job in the NFL, aside from left tackle. And he does it better than anybody I've ever seen. You mentioned Darrelle Revis, but I think he's a lot better than Darrelle Revis was in Darrelle Revis' prime. At 1, it is unanimous. I do have Aaron Donald.
Oh, you're gonna say Patty Kane.
Absolutely, yeah. Patty Kane's on my number 1 for football. But yeah, Aaron Donald. I think. Look, everyone says that Lawrence Taylor right now is the best defensive player of all time. I think I will, as a Giants fan, I will say it right now. I think Aaron Donald will be the best. I don't think he has a chance. I think he will be the best defensive player of all time.
Okay, so I just want to touch on 2 things. So I know I said that TJ Watt got robbed of Defensive Player of the Year, but it's also Aaron Donald we're talking about, right? Like at this point, like I said before the awards came out, I thought Aaron Donald was going to win. My pick at our awards show was Xavier Howard. He got a couple votes or whatever, but Aaron Donald got the majority and he won. So I'm not really that upset that TJ Watt. I thought TJ Watt deserved it at the end of the season. But you really think that Devin White is the best linebacker in the league? Like
No, I said it just because I didn't believe it.
No, you would take him over Darius Leonard?
Yes.
Oh.
I think he's a better coverage linebacker than Darius Leonard is.
I think he look okay, but
I'm saying
Dawson,
it's close.
I'll
It's
give
close.
it to you, but
It is close.
Matt, you should not be this opinionated for guys that are this close in
Yeah.
like Darius Leonard is not miles
The
ahead
only
of
reason you're
Devin
going
White.
against Devin White is because he's in your division.
I think if you ask I think if you ask all 32 defensive coordinators in the NFL, half of them would take Devin White and half would take Darius Leonard.
It's
I'm
super
not even
close,
like
but
I'm
I think
fully
it's Devin
serious
White.
about that. It might be like 20-12, but in favor of Darius Leonard. Personally, I would take Leonard, but I think it's like very extremely close.
I think it's super close too. But
Fred Warner could also be in that conversation. Bobby Wags is a little out of his prime, but there's a lot of guys. I don't know if I would put Devin White above all of them, but I respect the opinion for sure.
I feel like we're forgetting about someone.
It's not as bad as my Amari Cooper, apparently.
Well, there was Luke Kuechly, man. That guy was the best diagnosing linebacker. I've never seen anyone read plays
I
like
cried
that.
when Luke Kuechly retired. I'm not even gonna lie.
You guys want to hear a funny story about that? I was on my way to vacation on one March break. I was sitting next to Luke Kuechly's roommate from Boston College.
The way you told me this story was fucking hilarious. You were like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to see my old college roommate. We used to play at Boston College. And you're like, who? He's like, oh, this guy, Luke Kuechly. And you're like, what the fuck? That's like the best defensive player of all time.
Like,
And he just dropped it in casually.
oh, man. Okay.
That's hilarious.
All right, so we'll move to our lock of the week in terms of betting. This is our last segment. We end every episode with this, try to make some money. So my lock of the week this week is on Tuesday, when Andre Drummond plays the Hawks, he's going to get a double-double. That's my lock if he hasn't been traded already.
I mean, too bad he's not playing.
Is he not playing?
They said they're not playing him until he's off the team.
Okay, let me change it then.
All right, I'll go. On Wednesday, February 24th, the Raptors will beat the Miami Heat. The Toronto Raptors are hot as hell right now. They're looking good. I'm happy as a Raps fan, so I have the Raptors beating the Heat on Wednesday.
Very quickly, a little bit biased, but this Habs team is nowhere near bad enough to lose 3 games in a row. I don't care who they're playing against. Tuesday, they have the opportunity to play the Sens, who suck, even though they just beat the Habs. But Habs ML on Tuesday night, book it. There's no way this team loses 3 in a row.
I'm just going to go ahead and jump in on that one with Cam then. That'll be my lock of the week.
All right.
Let's ride.
I'm joining Dawson with the Raptors on Friday, though, against the Rockets. They're going to win.
I like it.
All right. Well, that does it for episode 11 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. We had 2 new segments this week in Think Fast and Start Bench Cut. Let us know what you think. Just a reminder, we post every Tuesday at 5. We film every Monday. We post on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on YouTube if you want to see the entire recorded version with our reactions, and on Instagram at Nothing But Controversy for our clip of the week and our new memes. But yeah, we'll see you next week for episode 12, Jersey Week.
Woo!